What if Earth suddenly became flat? Imagine waking up one day and discovering the world was no longer a sphere, but a giant disk stretching endlessly. The very laws of physics would twist overnight. Gravity, which on a round Earth pulls everything toward the center, would distort across the flat surface. Those near the middle of the disk might feel little change, but the further you traveled toward the edges, the more gravity would drag at strange angles, pulling sideways, tilting oceans, and bending reality itself. Rivers would flow only toward the center, pooling into an enormous ocean, while the edges of the world would dry out into deserts, barren and lifeless. The climate would collapse into chaos. On a globe, the sun rises and sets evenly, giving us day and night, seasons and time. But on a flat Earth, sunlight would spread unevenly, leaving some regions locked in eternal daylight while others plunged into endless night. Imagine cities where the sun never sets, burning the land into scorched wastelands, and others where the darkness never lifts, freezing everything under eternal shadow. The natural cycle of seasons, summer, winter, spring, and fall, would vanish forever. Technology and travel would collapse with it. GPS, satellites, and even the very idea of around the world would no longer make sense. Planes could not follow their old routes, and navigation as we know it would crumble. Those near the center would dominate, enjoying fertile soil, access to fresh water, and stable climates. But life on the outer rim of the disk would become nearly impossible, sparking migrations, conflicts, and wars over who could move closer to the habitable center. Politically, the world would fracture. Control of the center would mean control of Earth's only true resources: fertile lands, oceans, and power. Nations and empires would rise and fall not by technology, but by their proximity to the core of the disk. The outer lands, forgotten and cursed, would be left to survive an endless struggle. Science itself would collapse under the weight of this new truth. Physics, astronomy, and geography, all based on the assumption of a round planet, would be wrong. Why would satellites fall? Why would orbits fail? Scientists would scramble to rewrite the laws of nature, while religions and ancient myths of a flat Earth would explode in popularity, claiming victory over centuries of doubt. Imagine billions of people standing at the edge of the disk, staring into the abyss of infinite space, realizing they had lived a lie their entire lives. A flat Earth would not just destroy civilization's foundations, it would force humanity to reimagine its place in the universe. No longer explorers of a sphere floating in space, we would be trapped on a fragile plate with edges leading to nowhere. It would be the end of the old world and the beginning of an uncertain, terrifying new one.